Care of the Filipino Client by Marissa Height, Nursing 480 Transcultural Healthcare. The term Filipino refers to a person originating from one of the Philippine Islands, which are a string of islands located in the Pacific Rim off the coast of Southeast Asia. This archipelago is home to over 80 million people, approximately 4% of which over the age of 65. The official language spoken in the Philippines is called Filipino and is a combination of Tagalog, a mixture of several different languages, and some English. Extended family, including grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc., is largely important to Filipino people and makes up most of their social group. Cultural attributes. In Filipino culture, family is extremely important and includes a person's extended family. The family structure is laid out in a sort of hierarchy based on sex and seniority, where the elder men in the family are responsible for the majority of decisions and whose approval is most important. Filipinos believe that their behavior is largely guided by shame or the inability to live up to social norms. This shame is known by Filipino people as haya. When interacting with Filipino patients, you must be introduced to them by a third party who already knows them and has an established relationship. A handshake is the common greeting expected when meeting a Filipino patient, and when addressing these patients, they should be called by their title and surname until the time when the patient invites you to call them by their first name or a nickname. In the Filipino culture, being accepted by the social community is seen as very important, and the people believe that furthering of one's education can help a person move up the social ladder. The population of the Philippines is largely Catholic, and this religious affiliation guides the beliefs and values of the Filipino people. Another important value of the Filipino people is that being agreeable helps life run smoothly, so patients may say yes to something when they really want to say otherwise in order to avoid making life harder on anyone. Timbang is a major belief for Filipinos, which is the belief in the balance between hot and cold elements. Filipinos believe that a quick change from hot to cold without balance will cause illness or health problems, and that a person's health is maintained by keeping a warm environment where hot and cold are in constant balance. Filipino people have developed their beliefs about health and healthcare by combining traditions from the early indigenous people, religious aspects from the largely practiced Catholic Church, and from Western medicine that has been around since visitors from the United States started arriving in the late 18th century. Healthcare beliefs in the Philippines have variations across the different islands because there are so many islands in the archipelago, and the various ethnic groups create their own aspects and of the beliefs. Some of the Filipino health beliefs include namamana, the belief that ailments are passed from one generation to the next, from parents to their children. Pasma, the thought that illness is caused by an imbalance of hot and cold, where the elements are attacking one another. And the idea of sumpa and gaba, curses that are believed to be placed on an individual either by another person or by a certain god or deity. Care across the lifespan, caring for Filipino patients from birth to death. When it comes to pregnancy and childbearing in Filipino culture, pregnant women adhere to certain beliefs in order to make the best life possible for their child. For instance, they will avoid eating black foods so their child's skin tone will not be too dark, and they will keep themselves extremely clean and always appear beautiful during pregnancy in order for their child to be beautiful as well. Pregnant Filipino women also try to stay calm and relaxed during pregnancy because Filipinos believe that unpleasant emotions experienced by the mother during pregnancy will cause the child to have birthmarks. Finally, Filipino women believe in a concept called lihi, where the woman's food cravings during pregnancy will determine some of the child's traits when they're born. For instance, if the mother craves crabs, the child will be born with a crabby personality, or even with physical traits such as claw-like hands. Children in the Philippines are often subject to the beliefs of their parents. For instance, in America, we think of the first breast milk, or colostrum, as liquid gold, and mothers are encouraged to express it and give it to their babies even if the baby won't yet latch. But in the Philippines, women view this milk as dirty and will not feed it to their babies. In looking at older children in the Philippines, there is a wide gap in the socioeconomic status of Filipinos, which contributes to the nutritional status of children being varied. The really rich children are having problems with obesity, while children on the opposite end of the socioeconomic spectrum are extremely malnourished, which causes its own array of health problems. Anemia is a common health problem among children in the lower socioeconomic class, and this problem continues from their pregnant mothers into childhood. In Filipino adults ages 18 to 64, obesity is a major problem, especially in areas of higher socioeconomic status. Filipinos are found to have higher incidences of obesity than in other Asian countries, and this health problem contributes to it and also higher incidence of both type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Filipino adults believe that illnesses are caused by one or more contributing factors. These factors include a mystical belief that the illness is being caused by the patient paying for a dead ancestor's unfinished business, a personalistic belief that the patient is being punished by some divine source for a wrongdoing, and a naturalistic belief that the stresses and imbalances in the patient's environment are what is causing them to be ill. Elderly Filipino patients find strength and fortitude through age and illness in God or some other deity. For most patients, Catholicism is the main religion, and religion and God provide a guide to everyday life and make the patient feel more comfortable and ready for the decline in their health and eventual passing. For the general Filipino community, cardiovascular health is a major concern, as they have the highest incidence of heart disease when compared to other Asian nations. It is important to teach Filipino patients about healthy eating and exercise habits that could help improve the occurrence of cardiovascular issues in the community. Also, religion is very important to Filipino patients, and they find a lot of strength in spirituality, which should be respected when interacting with them. Summary. In summation, Filipino patients are a growing population in the United States, making up the second largest Asian population, as these people immigrate from the Philippines. We as healthcare providers need to be aware of their culture and cultural needs in order to provide these patients with the best possible care. Their beliefs about religion, healthcare, and interactions with new people are critical to the way they live, and we need to respect these needs while caring for the Filipino patient. Thank you.